So we were supposed to leave at 7 this morning. It's now about 8:30. It always happens on the first day of the trip. But you can see my bike is ready to go. We've got the cockpit here. And I've got all of my pouches from Giant Loop, which are amazing. In my pannier tank bag, I've got Moxie's water, her bowls, her leash, all the stuff that we would need right off the bike when we stop somewhere. On the other side, I've got her big thing of kibble, and I think I have a toy in here for her. Or a hucker.
I've got the hucker.
You've got the hucker?
And the reason I have the hucker is that way that Mama Bear doesn't get to decide when the children get to play. We can play whenever we want. We're leaving Pijijiapan in mid-December for a 4-week Mexico trip over the holidays. The COVID-19 pandemic is still raging, so we'll be taking care to be socially distant, stay outdoors, and wear a face mask whenever we're indoors or near others.
So we're here at a Shell gas station. It's our first stop of our trip. We decided to take a little break here. We're in Shela.
Moxie's doing great.
Let's see if we can get Moxie. There she is. Hi, Facey. Hi. She's doing very well. She was riding with me all day. She didn't fuss, nothing. So she's on steroids for her back issue. And I think that with all the extra feeding that it's causing.
Okay, so talk about this back issue.
Okay, so I think it was back in October that Moxie all of a sudden had a limp tail. I wasn't here, Greg was here with her.
It's called a cola flaccida, or a flaccid tail.
Or a swimmer's tail.
Swimmer's tail. We call it a limp dick.
The limp dick.
Yeah, it's like a pulled muscle,
yeah, like
and it goes limp for a while, and then a few days later it's supposed to be back to normal. So we let her rest and whatever. Now at the same time, we were noticing how amazingly awkward she was being going up the stairs.
Yeah, she
it's like this, all the feet and the legs, whatever, come together, and then she's trying to balance with her snout and almost use it on the stair
to pull her up.
So it was bizarre. And then we kind of figured, well, maybe because the tail is limp, she's not balanced.
So we went to that vet when I arrived back from the States. Greg brought Moxie in from Pana, and we went to see that vet. He did the whole examination, and then we got the X-rays back. The hips were fine, but you could easily see that it's not it's a slip disc, or it's an inflamed nerve in the last vertebrae. So we were really concerned about that for this trip, because we need her to be able to saddle up and to be able to get down.
Yeah, and we don't want her to be in pain. We don't want her to be uncomfortable. And
so she's been on medication. She's been on steroid, an anti-inflammatory, and something for the nerves itself. I can't remember what it's called.
And she got the okay from the vet.
And the vet said it was fine, that we could take her. He said that you might need to just lift her to get into the carrier if she has pain.
A little less bounce in her step, eh?
Yeah, she's ready. But if she's in the laying down position, it's not going to cause her any problems, which she is in the carrier. But we're just being really careful with her on this trip and helping her up on the carrier every time we get going.
It always kills me, you're talking and I'm just looking over at Moxie. It kills me how much I love the shit out of this dog. And I was not the dog person, right? Jess always wanted a dog, and it was kind of I conceded, okay, let's just get a dog.
But look at this creature. How could you not love this creature? Look at that face with all that wisdom fur coming in.
So we've arrived at Refugio del Quetzal. Refugio del Quetzal. The Quetzal is the national bird of Guatemala. And the first thing Moxie did was rub her face in the tall grass. The second thing she did is look at us like, okay, so are we staying here? And the third thing that she did was to take a shit.
Again.
So all of the things. Now she's just waiting for Jess to take off the riding harness so that she can know that this is where we're staying. So this is kind of like random in the sense that you just pull up off this road.
Oh, you can
There's a trail that goes down through the fog down that way. The short one is like what, 30 minutes or so?
45 minutes.
And the long one is 2 hours. And then you can camp right here with the Quetzal. Oh, you can turn off your camera if it's still on.
Oh, I forgot.
And then this, like, that's what this is. There's not really, I mean, it's just kind of on the hillside. But I guess the Refugio also includes the valley or whatever's down here.
Yeah. There's all these love bugs too.
And there's love bugs that are mating. So that's what's happening here. The locusts.
Oh, you can hear the water. There's a waterfall down there.
Yeah, that's the waterfall. So that's pretty cool. Like, you just kind of camp suspended up here.
We're sort of in the fog right now.
Yeah,
but...
it's definitely foggy.
So I just finished putting everything together inside the tent. And now I'm going to start preparing our dinner. And I think what we're going to have tonight is a bruschetta spaghetti. That's going to be our plan for tonight. Moxie and Greg have gone down to see what's over there. We think that there's a map that'll show you the different places that there are to go here with the waterfall and the trails. And then tomorrow morning, hopefully, we'll get a chance to see the Quetzal. They supposedly are out early in the morning, and we're hopefully going to get a chance to see one. But right now it's very foggy. Can't even see anything back here. But I think tomorrow morning this is going to be quite beautiful.
Yeah, feed, Jessica, feed.
Also, what do you attribute your relatively lower numbers to?
I'm just getting candy shots.
The surge is, we're just seeing it everywhere. I think it's community transmission, and there's a certain amount of COVID fatigue that's set in.
We're cross-pod this morning.
People are feeling in some ways that because there's a vaccine on the horizon,
yeah, are you cross-pod?
To practice, even though there is a vaccine available now, it's going to take some months before everyone in Ontario who wants to receive a vaccine will receive one.
Moxie's famous digging of her fetch toys. She finds dirt or sand or a tall grass and just wants to tear it up. So the only sort of not amazing thing about this location is that the Pan American is actually just down there. So, you know, the trucks are moving all night long. Is it maybe important for us to state clearly that this is not a gender roles thing?
that I enjoy doing
this is actually, you really enjoy doing it, and I really do not particularly enjoy it.
And we know that you can't do anything other than make pasta.
This is fantastic news. We're having a morning poop, which means she's gonna be good to go when it's time to ride.
Well, she's gonna eat something and then
she'll have to poop again. So
that curled tail.
Yeah, that's a kinked tail for sure. She always does that, like, wag up and down to kind of help the sphincter push it out when there's one more on the way.
Oh, but there's still some more.
Yeah. Very voyeuristic, huh? Alright, so Jess is peeing, and now she's ready, and we're gonna hit the trail.
Yep.
There's people up ahead, so I am masked, and that includes the nose. That whole, like, masking without your nose being covered is not masking. Good for them for masking. ¿Los dos sexos o géneros son iguales de multicolorados o...?
El macho pecho rojo.
Es multicromático.
Cola.
Ah, ok.
La hembra no tiene cola.
Ah, ¿no?
Es mínima.
Ah, ok.
Por ahí vamos a ver una.
Entonces ese es el sonido del Quetzal, el cercanto.
Lo utilizamos para cuando están altos, lo escuchan y entonces ya Se dejan ver, sí.
¿Esta es la casa de ellos? ¿O qué es esto?
Sí, pero todavía falta para que aniden como en febrero. Febrero, ahorita están como que buscando dónde anidar. Sí, ¿ves? Sí, ahorita por ahí están abajo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah, there it is. It's like
A teal.
teal aqua, something like that. That's our first Quetzal sighting of any trip we've been on in Guatemala in our 4 years here. There is no body of water that Moxie won't run into. She always has to wet her paws. Jess, do you remember when we first got her as a puppy? You said, I really hope she likes the water. And when she was a small puppy, you know, she was uncertain about it for like the first day or so that we took her to the lake.
Yep.
And then ever since then, she's like partially aquatic. She will not stay out of the water. I don't know how many times you've bathed her or brushed her, and then we say, okay, we're just gonna go down to the lake, but like just to, you know, just to huck. We're not gonna go in the water. And you turn your back for a moment, and you look, where's Moxie? And she's standing 4 paws in the water, looking to chase after a duck or something. This is a great sign. Poop number 2 of the morning. This dog is just churning them out. What was it, 2, 3 times yesterday? 3 times yesterday. 2 times this morning. It's only what, 8:30, 9 o'clock, something? So she's either kind of got a constipation going on, or she's just cranking them out.
Well, she only had little poops. Little baby poops.
Well, it's a good sign for hopping on the bike.
Well, now she's gonna need to eat.
That's true. And we have to feed, and then we have to poop. It's just a machine. So what did we just learn about them?
That when the Quetzal is in heat, I guess, or maybe it's their breeding time, I'm not sure what that word meant, but that they eat insects. But for the rest of their lives, they only eat fruit.
So they are mostitarians. Kind of like us. We are like 99% vegetarian.
Yep.
And then occasionally, you know, like when you're in Mexico and there's tacos, or maybe a place that's supposed to have a really good hamburger.
Can you hold her, Greg?
Yeah.
Hold on to her.
Moxie,
Cars.
stay.
Hold it.
You stay. All right. 30 plus degrees Celsius. It's fucking hot. There's migration. Gonna get a cold drink. We got our money changer friend that is right there behind me. We're gonna try and cool down and then do this the right and the calm way. First order of business is watering Moxie. It definitely smells of bathrooms, but it's the only shady place where we can keep an eye on the bikes. I have several hundred in South Sudanese. I have Cuban. I have CUCs.
Okay.
I have no idea how I have Cuban money. Don't know how it got here. We've got Canadian, Jordanian. Those are
That's MTN.
Is that from Liberia?
I don't know. What are these? This is a Telcel. Is this yours? Is this the one that you
No, my
had?
Telcel's in here. That's probably yours that I held for you. No, o sea, mejor 200, sí. Jessica's favorite position is to be laying down. If she can't be laying down, the next best is sitting. This person who has beautiful, wonderful, attractive legs uses them less than anyone else I know. Sí, ya estamos. Sí. Ok, hasta luego.
Okay.
Muy buena tarde. Gregory, 7.
Moxie.
Entrada. Vete de entrada. Bueno.
I wasn't sure he was telling me to go through there, but then not go through there. And I was like, what?
Yeah. It's air conditioned. It's so cool. Look at that. It says 16 degrees on the air conditioning unit. Love. Let's just stay in here for a while. Let's stay in here until the sun goes down.
Girl, lay down.
Moxie, there's a lot of you. What is she back and forth about?
Deciding if she wants to lay here or not. There we go.
Más de los 7 días. Ajá, 4 semanas. Ajá, volvemos en enero. Como
El
12 de enero. Algo así. Turismo, sí, pasarlo en las playas alrededor de Oaxaca, ¿no? Jessica doesn't like when I'm being friendly. She just wants to get through it. Okay, so this is the Moxie stop for her documents, and they reviewed everything, and everything looks good. We're all right. We had a little moment of uncertainty because they were reviewing, and you never know what they're going to say, or if they're just going to decide they don't like them.
Let's go. Get ready.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah. And Greg was able to find us this place that actually accepts dogs. We just had to give a 100 peso deposit in case she messes up the room. Moxie.
¿No muerde?
No.
Qué bonito. Yo tengo una perrita, pero es pastor belga.
Ah, wow,
Es
okay.
un poco más chiquita.
Sí, exactamente.
Pero qué hermosa.
Sí. But thankfully we decided to stop. We were actually supposed to go another probably 70 or 80 kilometers. But it was just getting late. It was 6 o'clock. The sun had set and we were both hungry. We hadn't eaten and Moxie was sleepy.
We've got a hotel room for the night. It's perfectly nice, perfectly good. I went a little bad there for a little while. Okay, so we had a Telcel situation yesterday evening, and first off, I'll admit that I went a little bad, and I've apologized. But I think I was getting some like ear pressure and whatever, and it was just a long day.
Ear pressure.
So whatever my excuses are, I went a little bad, and then I had to reel it back in. But anyway, we had a Telcel issue because we had two Telcel SIM cards from last Mexico trip. And so we stopped at a authorized Telcel dealer, put one in, mine, and I immediately put internet on it for the month. And nothing happened. The one that Jess had taken out of my sort of storage thing, whatever, and put in her little her little one a money purse. Yesterday, like what, an hour or 2 hours before at the border, disappeared. She thinks it was when she took her credit card out for the temporary vehicle permit, which means if you lost it then, Jessica, it means that you literally had it on your person for less than an hour. A whole year it stayed nicely in storage. We gave it over, and I stored it, held on to it for this reason, because you can't be trusted with these little things. And then literally less than an hour later it's gone. Anyway, all that's been sorted out. We have a Telcel, we have our T-Mobile, having an iced coffee, and what, a croissant that's on its way. And this one is basically a dead dog. She's not in shape like she was. Mostly because with the whole back issues, I wasn't taking her running a few times a week like I used to. And so I think that, her energy level's a little low.
So we're in Playa Azul. We just made it. It's about 3 o'clock. We had quite an eventful day. We stayed in, where?
It's been so long since then.
It wasn't Tonalá.
The important thing to state is that we went through La Ventosa.
Esta es la temporada en la que se ponen más fuertes los más fuertes, ¿verdad? Les ha dado vuelta trailers de carga.
But yes, the wind has definitely picked up in this section. I'm being flown around to my left into the traffic, which sucks. And I can see Greg at an angle behind me too, so he's obviously feeling it. Oh, shit.
Which I have been saying for years, since I did it the first time in, 2010, 2009, that it was brutal. And the few times we've been through there since then, it's never been brutal. And
No, the last time that we went through, it was really easy. And like
what a pussy, that was nothing, what a pussy.
So I started to do a little video, an audio recording before we got to like the section itself. We're on our way to La Ventosa. I think there's like 25 minutes left until we're actually in the town of La Ventosa. And about an hour back it was quite windy, and it's about that now. It's probably a little bit more. And as I look ahead here, I see the windmills in the distance. And then all of a sudden it starts to get worse. And Greg wanted to actually like go through to the town of La Ventosa, which would have been like a detour off of the main road. And he wanted to go and check it out so that we could
to just basically take
La
a
Ventosa.
fucking selfie right there and be like, here we are in La Ventosa, it's brutally windy, now let's get the hell out of here.
But
we didn't really need to do that.
But I only got like the first section, first few kilometers into the bad section, and then on my recording I said something like, I think I'm gonna tell Greg that we don't need to go into La Ventosa. I think I'll be happy to ride around. I had a little bit of a freak out, so everything was going okay. I did my recording.
Taking all the...
And then all of a sudden, the wind just was really strong, a crosswind, and we were really like at an angle, like we were riding along, and then all of a sudden we're riding like this, and I was worried that the bottom end was just going to sort of blow out. And I was worried because Moxie was there, her rec specs kept sliding down, the wind was really strong. Watching Moxie, because I've been noticing with the wind, her rec specs are sliding down a little bit. And so I guess the way that she was positioning herself, the wind was sort of like catching her rec specs and like bringing them down her face. So she was like up to like here, and I was like squishing one of her eyes. So I'm trying to reach back with one hand to lift her rec specs back up. And then I'm trying to like hold on for dear life to make sure that the bike doesn't go over. All of a sudden this big gust came and it blew me into the other lane. Thank God there was nobody coming right away. But like I was in the other lane for at least like 10 seconds, and on the intercom I'm telling Greg, it's not letting me come back. I can't get back. He's
I was like, you're fine. You just have to look where you want to go. Look where you want to go. She looks where she goes right back into the other lane. But yeah, it's like terrifying in the moment, you know?
And like I've got Moxie on the back, and I'm concerned about her, even though like I kept looking back in my side mirror, and she was perfectly fine. She doesn't seem to mind. She's not swerving or anything. She's looking up ahead, looking back at Greg. The fact that she can turn her head and look back at Greg and not like be pushed back, probably a good sign that she's
in a good spot.
I couldn't even tell that it was windy for her. So she was great throughout the whole thing. I had a little freak out.
Talking you through, I'm like, it's gonna be fine. You're doing great. Your technique is solid. The bike knows what to do. And I'm like, you're like, no, but it could keep getting worse. It's like, no. This section, you can see the wind turbines are still going. You know it's not that bad. In the past section, I knew it was bad because they were stopped. It was too windy for them. Now, I don't know if that's at all true.
It's not true at all.
I feel like it's true. I feel like there's a top speed or whatever. I feel like it's true. But it may be entirely not true.
No.
I said it with that authority.
No, and I told you. I said
You
no.
said- at first I said,
they're
"You know
probably
this?"
under. No, I said that they're probably being serviced.
So there's like a whole fucking row of these wind turbines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are a few that are stopped. Makes me wonder if they're out of service.
This is probably a good
This is
spot
where we're
to
gonna
camp.
stay. Yeah, we decided that we don't need to do such a long day. We still have another 2 days. 2 days? Yeah, we got Saturday and Sunday, and we have to make it to Oaxaca, the town, by the end of Sunday. Yeah, so and then we'll see what we want to do tomorrow, and we'll take it as it comes. But I'm glad that we made it through this. I'm glad that we're stopping for the day.
Well, we had a nice little off-road.
Little off-road to get
off
here.
tarmac, just pleasant at the end.
Yeah.
That was fun. Moopers is
Hey, Moopers.
made herself comfortable.
Can we even see you? There you are. So she's resting.
She's already got sand on her snout. Perfect.
So yeah.
This is the secret of why you want to wear light shorts, like exercise shorts, under your riding pants. Because if you just have a few minutes, you can pull them down and air out. It's lovely.
So it looks like he's taking a shit in the restaurant.
It looks like that, but it is not the case.